So when you click on start from scratch, then it will ask for your application name and all the stuff. So so these are the different ways you can create an application. And coming next, you've seen the studio, but you need to understand the studio, the UI of the studio, to be like more familiar on what you're doing. If you don't understand what you're doing or how a studio looks like, then it's tough for you guys to know, like, well, what's there in the banner or what's the content frame. You just don't understand the thing. So first things first is, like, just imagine you moved into a new house. The first thing you'll be doing is you'll understand how the house is, like, where the kitchen is, where, you can find your bedroom, where is the hall. Similarly, if you start seeing any IDE, the best practice is to understand the IDE, like, are there any shortcuts within that, or where do you find what, like, in the left hand side, well, whether you'll be able to see files. At the bottom, is there anything else you can see? The reason is, if you become familiar with these things, it will be an easy go for you in the process of application development. So actually there are 4 components of the studio interface. Now currently I cannot just show you because I didn't created any application, but once I create them, I'll explain you in detail how does that look. So header. The header contains the name of the logged in user, menus and controls. So basically, if you guys try to look, currently you just can't see that. Okay, yeah, you can see this. This is the header, and the application explorer is something here. Yeah, you can see here the application explorer. And then what application explorer has is the application type and the application files are there within this. And then you have a content frame and a status bar. So what does a content frame does is, that's where you will see all your lists, forms loaded up, and there will be a tabbed version of that. You'll understand more better if you see an application. And there is another thing called, you see, this is the content frame, and there will be a status bar which would be appearing once you create your application. Well, how do you add file to application? Well, you can do it by create application file button here. So we'll do one thing before we just start creating something. It's better we have an application ready. Now I've thought of explaining you a demo on one of the application. Yeah, that is the hotel management, where you're going to create a application where an end user can book the hotel rooms. Yes, what you heard is correct. It will give an option for the end user to book the rooms within a hotel. Like, this can be like a generic application or a hotel specific application. Like, if I want to make it a hotel specific, for suppose I maintain a hotel where I can give people the choice to room book online, I can do that from here. Like, this is going to be my main table. Like, as I'm saying, model tables play a crucial role. That means if an end user comes and books a room, where is the information going? Yes, the information is actually going into the room booking table, and that's how the user interacts. See, this is the basic model. Like, I'm not showing you the entire design model. The reason is, as you start learning new concepts, it would be better understanding for you guys if you even see the enhanced design. If you see the entire design right now, you might not just don't understand what's going on. But if I just show you just 2 simple diagrams showing this is how the user interacts, it's simple, and you'll be understanding it better than what you have seen it. So this is how the demo application is. Now the end user can select the date and do things. So this is where I'm gonna start it from scratch. I'll click on create. Now it's going to ask few things to me. What's the application name you want to give? And if you see, the scope is something, it's providing a number, a unique number. Let's do one thing. I'll say this as a hotel management app. You see, whenever I hit a space, it takes underscore. So the app name is hotel management. I'll click on create. Are you sure you want to create the application? Yeah, it's asking for the confirmation. You can just say yes. Success. Woo, there it is. You have created your first application. Yeah, obviously there are no files within that or anything else. So at this point of time you might say you've been successful, but just in the first step of building your application. Yeah, so now you can go back to the list, clicking on this. Now this, because if you see, in the previous time, when I first time loaded the ServiceNow Studio, there was nothing. Like, it was asking, there are no files, there are no applications, do you want to create a new one? But now if you see, well, it's telling, hey man, you have an application already there, and I'll show you the list. So that's what this list is. It's showing the status. You can see there is nothing which is linked to the source control. The application is hotel management, there is no vendor. This is the version, this is when it was created. So what you'll be doing is, you need to just click on this application to open it in the studio. I just clicked on it, and there you go. Here you can see it's saying welcome to the studio. As I said in the first slide in today's tutorial, that even Studio provides few shortcuts. That's what it's showing directly here. It's saying, you can see, Control Shift O to just go to. You can open any file. If you want to create a new file, it's Control Shift C. If you want to have any searching, it should be Control Shift F. So Control Shift is something common, and the rest keys vary. And if you want to close the current tab, it's Control Shift X. So well, we understood the application. We'll go back and you can see how do you add files to the application. See, you might say, well, my application, I've just created an application, but there are no application files. So what you're going to do, you need to add some files, right? So what kind of files do you want to add? Well, ServiceNow Studio has many such default files which you are going to create. So what kind of a file type you want to create, ServiceNow gives you an option, and you can just go into that and choose from it. So whenever you click this create application file button, I am clicking it. So this is a dialog box which I'm going to explain you now. This is where you can search, like you can directly click something, like if you want to write a client script, you can start filtering there. And the left side, if you see here, is the actual one, that is file type descriptions. This is the file type description. See, if you see here, the first thing that is selected by default is within data model category, the data model that is selected is table, and here you can see the description about that, which says tables available to store the instance data. Each table stores a collection of records, and so on, so about the table. So that's the description. Categories, as I was talking about, and you can see application file types. So this is the application file type. Now these are categories, these are the actual types. And then you can see the create button. Yeah, so this is where it creates the application file for us. Okay, so here you see, I'm going to show you a few of these categories. Like if you select data model, the types which is there within this data model is table, table column, many to many definition, relationship. If you click on forms and UI, you can see the list layout, the list control, related list, what type of things do you want to create. So from this is where you'll select, and then you'll click on create. So that's how an application file gets created basically. So these are the few things. And then first things first, now as I said, if you're ready to build an application, but the table creation for the application is pretty much important. So how do you create a table? So to create a table, before that I want to give you a brief description of what table does generally and in ServiceNow. So table is used to store the data inputted from forms, or it can be from anywhere. The thing is, tables are somewhere which stores an RDBMS, relational database management system structure, so which contains basically rows and columns, and the rows are nothing but the records of data, and the columns is type of field value of that each record.